Hey now, Joe Lesky. I play piano, you want to play piano, let's do this. So you want to play piano? That's awesome. Here are 5 things you should know before getting started. Number 1, anyone can do it. Seriously, absolutely anyone can play the piano. All it takes is a lot of hard work. Doesn't matter if you're creative, talented, more skilled, more musically in tune than other people. What matters most is that you're willing to put in the work. I'm no more talented or skilled, smarter or anything than anyone else. Just ask my friends, they'll tell you. But seriously, absolutely anyone can do it. Just gotta put in the work. Tied in with number 1 is knowing what you want to do, managing your expectations. Do you want to be a virtuosic classical pianist? Do you want to be a cool cat that plays at the local jazz club? Or do you want to be able to have your friends gather around the piano and sing some pop songs with varying degrees of success? It's important to know what it is you want to accomplish so that way we can be a little more streamlined and know what we have to do to get there. Number 2, having short and long-term goals. I'm a big believer in having something to work towards both in the near future and months or years down the line. It's vital that you feel like you're making progress, so you don't want to set the bar unrealistically high too early. You want to make sure that you have something to get to way down the line. Trust me, it comes in handy. For example, a short-term goal could be I want to master the D major scale. 2 sharps, F and C, nothing crazy. A long-term goal, I want to be able to perform a piece in front of my friends that's in D major. Number 3, it takes discipline. It takes so much work, and you have to continue doing it day after day, or you're not going to make the progress you need. And again, when you don't make progress, your short and long-term goals don't end up happening, it can be really discouraging. But it's going to take hours, days, weeks, months, years of doing the same things, little variations here and there, and getting better and better at them with time. Learning your scales, your arpeggios, your inversions, your chromatic scales, chromatic octaves, cadence chords. There are so many fundamental techniques you need to learn before you can get to the bigger, more fancy pieces or songs that you want to be able to play. You have to have a basic understanding of music theory, you have to have a more advanced understanding of music theory if you're going to be getting into more complicated works, or if you're interested in composition, which is something that I'm personally quite tied into, so I wanted to make sure that I knew the ins and outs of all things music to the best of my knowledge, and frankly, I keep learning more every day. The more I study, the more I learn. I'm never done learning, and neither are you. Discipline can come from a lot of different places. For example, when I started taking piano seriously, I also started taking running more seriously. I got on my cross-country team my sophomore year of high school, right when I was starting to really go, maybe this piano thing's something. But starting piano and running really at the same time really helped me understand how to just fight through the pain, how to continue going. Now don't get wrong, I was terrible at cross country. I am not a fast runner. My best mile time is like under 6 minutes by like that much. It's like 5:53 or something like that. My 5K best time was like 23:56. Not very good, but I learned a lot about just running mile after mile, ignoring what your body has to say, and just getting it done. Same thing with piano. It's going to be boring at times, it's going to be really difficult at times, it's going to be really frustrating at times. But if you just keep going, you'll be amazed with what you can do. Number 4, enjoy the process. Knowing what you're up against can be pretty intimidating, and frankly, it's enough to turn a lot of people away. But if you're the right kind of crazy, where you can start to enjoy that process, start to really love the burn, the repetitions, the boring work, the busy work, then you know you're in the right field. It takes time. You don't start loving the process. You have to learn to appreciate it, knowing that you have those short and long-term goals that this is going to help you get to, but it's going to take time. And the more you start to enjoy these repetitions, the little victories here or there, a passage you might not have been able to play a week ago that now you can play pretty comfortably. A month from now, you're going to be able to play it like you're not even thinking. And eventually, you're going to be able to do that with the whole piece, the whole song, whatever it is you're working towards. I know that when I started, my memorization was no good. But now, just from doing it so many times over, having to memorize piece after piece after piece, you get better with it. And the coolest part, I wasn't even trying. I never intended to be good, and memorization just came along as part of the process. I'm a college dropout, and the biggest reason for that was I hated the repetitions that it took. Playing the same thing over and over and over again, 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, every month, just to then finish those pieces and move on to more. For me, I just couldn't handle it. I had to figure out a way to enjoy the work that I was doing, and frankly, I wasn't in a space where I could do that. So, left college, started to work as a musician, and fortunately, I fell in love with the craft then, and now I really do enjoy all the grunt work that it takes to get to that next level. And finally, number 5, learn to love classical music. I know what you're picturing. Dead people in wigs who wrote music that you only hear in elevators nowadays. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world. However, when you start to really listen to it and know what you're listening to, know what you're listening for, you get a whole different appreciation. From Chopin to Rachmaninoff, Liszt to Beethoven, all of these composers challenged the notions of what music is and wanted to move it forward. Do yourself a favor, listen to the Chopin etudes, listen to the Rachmaninoff preludes, listen to the Beethoven sonatas, listen to these songs, listen to these pieces. Oh, I get yelled at for saying songs there. Sorry, Dr. Foster. But you have to know what to listen for. And once you do, it changes your life. I used to hate Bach, J.S. Bach, Johann Sebastian, up to and including college. I just couldn't appreciate what was going on. I thought of it as elevator music and nothing more. But then, one day, it just kind of switch flipped, right? I just kind of understood what it was that I had to listen for, and now I appreciate the true beauty and complexity within all of Bach's compositions, and the way that he was able to pull these off, I'll never understand. So complicated, so ahead of his time, so impressive. I don't know how I ever didn't like it. So with all of those 5 things in mind, this will get you in a much better place to start before you touch a key, before we talk about any techniques, which we're gonna do. That's the whole point of this new channel. So if you like what you heard and you want to get started learning the piano, or you're someone who's already playing but want to get to that next level, or even if you're someone who's been doing this forever and feel like you could have a few things, a different take, some tips and tricks to get you to that next level, like, comment, and subscribe. Till then, I've been Joe Lesky, you've been great, and I'll see you next time.